What is up, guys? Delboy here. A quick preview and prediction for Mairis Briedis versus Krzysztof Glowacki. This fight is part of the World Boxing Super Series Cruiserweight tournament. It's the semi-final, and the interim WBO Cruiserweight title will be on the line, as will the WBC Diamond Cruiserweight title. I'd imagine after Alexander Usyk officially vacates his titles, the winner of this fight will be elevated to full champion in both sanctioning bodies, but we'll see what happens with that. Before we get into this preview and prediction, I just want to shout out Nordic Warrior. Great channel, one of my favourites on YouTube. I highly recommend you drop him a sub. I done a few shout outs the other day, and when you do shout outs, you always forget one person, and that was the case with that video. So shout out to Nordic Warrior, great channel, subscribe. But let's get into this preview and prediction. Let's talk about the stats and facts of both guys briefly. We will start with Mairis Briedis. He's got a record of 25-1, 18 of those 25 wins coming by way of knockout. Krzysztof Glowacki has a record of 31 wins and 1 defeat, 19 of those 31 wins coming by way of knockout. Mairis Briedis is listed as 6'1", with a 75-inch reach. He's an orthodox fighter, whereas Krzysztof Glowacki is listed as 6 foot with a 75-inch reach. He's a southpaw fighter. So both guys have identical reaches, but Briedis is 1 inch taller. Will the southpaw stance of Glowacki pose any problems in this fight for Briedis? I do believe there's a possibility for it to give Briedis problems, but I'll get into that a bit later. Stylistically, I believe these guys match up really well. Glowacki to me is an aggressive fighter. He likes to come forwards and apply pressure. He maintains a good shape. He's nice and compact, and he maintains a good work rate throughout. He makes his opponents work really hard. Even in the Alexander Usyk fight, Glowacki lost that fight clearly and decisively, but he made Usyk work fairly hard. It wasn't easy for Usyk. Glowacki applies good pressure. Like I said, he maintains a good punch output. He's quite heavy-handed, and he can also show fairly good punch variety. He delivers all of his shots in a technically proficient manner. Glowacki, in my opinion, is a solid pressure fighter. He does that very well. And, he's the more aggressive fighter out of the two. Briedis is more of the boxer. He's kind of like a boxer-puncher / counter-puncher. I believe Briedis likes it when he's got an aggressive opponent in front of him. You go back to the Manuel Charr fight, for example. Manuel Charr was trying to apply pressure, but Briedis was stepping around him, boxing him, landing good counters, and eventually he walked Manuel Charr into a big shot he couldn't recover from. Same goes for the Duradola fight. Duradola getting aggressive, but Briedis was landing the good hard counters. Also the Marco Hook fight, that was more messy, but Hook was coming forwards, trying to be aggressive, but, Briedis was timing him with good counters. If you apply pressure against Briedis, he can kind of pick those spots and counter you if you're too reckless and defensively open. So, theoretically, Glowacki's style, it should give Briedis the openings he needs to find those shots. It should give him the opportunities to land his effective counterpunches, but it depends on what Briedis shows up. Because Briedis, to me, he seems like a hot and cold fighter, and right now he's coming off some bad form. So he lost to Alexander Usyk. He put up a really good fight, but he lost that fight. But ever since then, he's not looked that great. He had a comeback fight against a French cruiserweight, a low-level cruiserweight. I forget his name, but he looked really bad in that fight. And after that, he fought Noel Givor in the first round of the World Boxing Super Series, and Briedis got a gift decision in that fight. Givor beat Briedis. So Briedis hasn't been looking good recently. Is it a confidence issue? Is he carrying an injury? I don't know. But what I do know is he needs to up his game against Glowacki, because if Briedis shows the same type of form he's been showing in recent fights, then there's every chance he will lose to Glowacki, because Glowacki applies steady pressure, he has a good work rate, and he could outwork Briedis if Briedis isn't at the races. And that's what worries me about this fight. What version of Briedis shows up? Will it be the guy who's on form, who's in his rhythm, who's effectively countering, or will it be the guy who's shown up in recent fights? We just don't know. Briedis just seems to be a hot and cold type fighter, whereas Glowacki, for the most part, is quite consistent. We know what we're going to get. We know we're going to get a very hard-working fighter, a guy who applies pressure, who tries to cut the ring off, and a guy who's going to come to bring it. We know what we're going to get with Glowacki. We can't count on Briedis showing up. And that's why I find this fight very hard to predict. I do believe both guys have the ability and attributes to give the other problems, to be honest with you. Naturally a good counterpuncher will find some success against the likes of a Glowacki. I'm not saying Glowacki's terrible defensively, but he does get hit coming forwards, and a guy like Mairis Briedis could take advantage of that. Briedis can punch very hard. He's shown glimpses of excellent punching power, as we saw against Manuel Char. And, Briedis certainly hits hard enough to hurt Glowacki and maybe knock him out. Glowacki's been dropped in the past. He's been hurt in the past. I wouldn't be shocked if Briedis could get a stoppage, to be honest with you. I think he punches hard enough. I think his timing's good enough. He's nice and accurate. Wouldn't shock me at all if Briedis walked Glowacki onto a big shot. Maybe one of his uppercuts, for example. Glowacki, when he's coming forwards, he does kind of have a habit of not taking his head off centre line, and he's kind of leant forwards, so he's kind of open for the uppercut. Don't be surprised if Briedis' uppercut is an important punch for him in this fight, and I wouldn't be surprised if he knocks Glowacki out with that punch, to be quite honest. So listen, man, Briedis has the ability to win this fight, and Glowacki will give him the openings to have success. But on the flip side, I believe Glowacki, he's got the ability to beat Briedis, like I said. First and foremost, I've already mentioned it. If Briedis is not at the races, Glowacki's not the type of guy you want to be fighting because, like I said, good work rate, good aggression, good tenacity. He'll beat a guy like a 70% Briedis. But even if Briedis is at his best, I still believe Glowacki has enough about him to, possibly beat him. The pressure and pace that Glowacki sets is no joke, and he can punch hard himself. Also, he's got a lovely right hook out of that southpaw stance, and I think that's a shot Briedis is open for. A lot of the time he carries a low left, and he's open for the right hook. And as I say, I think that is one of Glowacki's best punches. That was a very effective punch against Steve Cunningham, for example. So don't be surprised if Glowacki's right hook comes into play in this fight. I think that's the key punch for him. But as you can tell by my back and forths, I'm kind of unsure on who to pick. In fact, I've already made this video once before. I made it on Tuesday, I want to say. And I picked Glowacki in that video. I picked Glowacki on points and I picked him to outwork Briedis. But I lost that video because my PC crashed and it corrupted the file. So here I am making it again. But I've got to say, I think I'm changing my mind. Yeah, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to say Briedis will come in at his best and he will deliver a performance. I think he'll be more offensive in this fight like he was in the Usyk fight. His work rate will be much better and his timing and rhythm will be on point. And I believe he'll win a very good fight with Glowacki. Glowacki will be a menace. He will have his own moments, but I believe Briedis will pull it out. I think he will land the better quality punches. And I wouldn't even be shocked to see Briedis score a knockout in this fight. Because Briedis does hit very hard. He's got very good one-punch knockout power. He just needs to commit to his punches. He needs to be confident. And if he's at his best, I think he wins this fight. I'm not really sure whether it's going to be by knockout or points, but I am picking Briedis. Like I said, I've changed my mind. I'm picking Briedis, and I'm sticking to it. Watch Glowacki win now, watch. But yeah, I'm picking Briedis. I think it's going to be a very good fight, and I'm looking forward to it. One more thing to mention, this fight is in Riga, Latvia, and there's always a chance there could be a robbery. Maybe Glowacki wins, but he doesn't get the decision. There is a chance of that happening. Like I said earlier, in Briedis' last fight against Noel Givor, he got a gift decision. That fight was in Latvia, so I mean, maybe lightning will strike twice. Hopefully not. Hopefully we get a good fair fight and may the best man win. But on paper, this fight should really deliver. Stylistically, I think both guys complement each other and it should make for a really good fight. Share your thoughts below. Peace.